Hello traders, hope you're doing well. Welcome to my video on the Zigzag and Fibonacci indicator. So I have the indicator loaded here on my pound dollar 4-hour chart in the MT4 MetaTrader 4 trading platform. You can use this strategy in any trading platform and on any trading instrument, so Forex, stocks, cryptos, commodities, indices, etc. You can also use it on any chart time frame. Personally, I prefer the longer term chart time frames because we can capture big moves like this one for over 300 pips without needing to chart watch all day, without needing to stress ourselves out trying to scalp a few pips here and there. So I like to look at the 1 hour, 4-hour, daily, weekly, monthly charts. Of course, you trade what works for you, but I like to trade smart, not hard. The longer term chart time frames I find filter out a lot of the noise from the intraday chart time frames, the lower time frames, okay? So you can see this indicator combines the popular zigzag indicator along with the Fibonacci levels. Okay, it automatically draws them for you. So when you just load it onto your chart, you can see here it's drawn the zigzag, which is basically areas of support and resistance, and also displays the Fibonacci levels. Doesn't display the Fibonacci historically. It does do the zigzag historically. If you just scroll back here, you can see. But the Fibonacci levels, it just displays in real time, which is currently this drawn from here to here. Okay, so how do we use them? Well, what we do is we look for the direction the market is moving. Clearly, it's moving up. I think you'll agree. Okay, so we're only going to take long trades. That's the first thing to determine. Trade direction, long, bullish. Going to buy. Where are we going to buy is the question. So what we do is we wait for the price to pull back, if you like, to one of these Fibonacci levels. So you've got the 61 level, okay, potential entry point there. You've got the 50 level, the 38 level, and all the way back down to here, which would be a complete reversal rather than a pullback. Okay, so it's up to you which level you want to trade from. Perhaps this is called the more aggressive level here, the 61, maybe more conservative, the 50, and for sure, even more so the 38 level. Keep in mind that price doesn't always come back exactly to these levels. You can see here, I'll just zoom in for you. You see price here. Okay, so we had this move upwards. We had this pullback. And if you were trying to enter on this line as a support, using the Fibonacci level as support, you see price closed just above it. So you would have technically not have taken that trade if you had an order on this line here. However, if you were around checking your charts, you could have just waited to see this bullish candle. And once you've seen that candle cross above there, you may have wanted to have taken that as your entry. Okay. Otherwise, if you see we're patient, it did actually come back and bang on the button, hit this line here, which would have been a decent trade as well to get into this long trend. Even though we do have this area of resistance here, which I would be cautious of, especially considering the price has fallen down from here as well. So could be an overall short trend. In fact, if we zoom out, when you see price doing that, whereas we've seen a short-term move to the upside, long-term we want to be cautious of what's going on, maybe more of a bearish scenario. Okay. That's the basics of it from my perspective. How I would implement the zigzag and Fibonacci may not be how everybody else would. Personally, I prefer to use my own support and resistance levels, and I'm not sure if I would be trading in this anyway, just because it pure looks like a bit of consolidation to me and a bit too choppy. I'd much rather look for something obvious, like here, for example, we see this nice resistance area, lower highs, pullback, and a good breakout off that ledge there into that downtrend. Okay, that would have been for me a trade. And you can see the zigzag indicator may have been here at the time. Okay, and it may have actually picked out that trade, but it does repaint, which means it changes after the fact. So it could have originally been this line, this dot here could have been up here. Okay, then as price fell, it may have moved and repainted to down here, which is why I don't rely on technical indicators myself personally. I'd much rather, you know, just use price action. Higher lows, market's moving up. Draw my resistance, trade a breakout of the resistance, trade a breakout of the resistance, pull back, trade a breakout of the resistance, resistance comes support. You can even wait. If you don't want to risk a fake out, you can wait for the breakout and then hope price pulls back and touches the resistance comes support and enter there. Same exact scenario here. Okay, no coincidence. And obviously you don't buy at the high. Okay, you want to get in as early as possible. And that being said, there is a cheeky opportunity there on that breakout. Yeah, and you can just see, and sometimes the zigzag will pick them, like this zigzag here. Okay, did actually good to find that peak, and then you could have just drawn your resistance based on that peak and traded that breakout there. Okay, but the key thing is we want to avoid choppy markets. Like this kind of scenario here is just a mess. I'm not going to trade in that. I'm going to wait for a breakout trend. Okay, and then trade that. I do have a video on the zigzag strategy. Look at this, like that's just a mess. I'm not going to trade it. I do have a video on the zigzag strategy on his own. But as I said, it does repaint. Whereas, you know, if we can see support, if we can see a level of support, we can draw a line and we know that then that's where the level is. Support, 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 breakout. Okay. Market making lower highs. Could have entered on that breakout there as well. Fibonacci levels good for support and resistance, but again, open to interpretation. It just depends on how traders are drawing them, what chart time frame you're using. If traders are using them for breakouts, for reversals, it's not quite a mechanical Forex trading strategy in that sense. Obviously, you need to have good money management. By that, I mean, I like to use a tight stop loss, cut losing trades short, let winning trades run. So I won't have a fixed take profit. Let's just use this entry as an example. Stop loss above the high here is around 15 pips. And I'm not going to have, you know, let's just say we have a 50 pip take profit. So price drops to here, 50 pips, close the trade. It's a winning trade, great. Not really, because you've just left over 300 pips on the table by having a fixed take profit. Instead, when price fell down to here, we could have moved our stop loss to break even. Then as it dropped again, just could have moved it above the high, above the high, above the high, above the high, and just trailed the price as much as possible. That way, even if we get the trades wrong, sometimes it doesn't matter because we know when we catch a good trade, we're going to milk it as much as possible and make back those losses and then some more. You can have the best entry in the world, but if we've got poor money management, it could just end up chasing our tails. Another reason to avoid, in my opinion, the 1 minute, 5 minute charts, because it's quite hard to get a favorable risk to reward ratio. Obviously, make sure you've got trading emotions in check. Don't let fear, anger, and greed cloud your trading judgment. Don't get FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, don't see a move like this. Price is down here, you want to sell in to this downtrend, and you just end up getting caught in a bear trap and taken out. Okay, don't over trade and don't revenge trade. Okay. To summarize as well, the Zigzag Fibonacci Indicator. I personally, if you insist on using the Fibonacci, you might just want to look at an auto Fibonacci tool. I do have a video on those as well. Automatically draw the Fibonacci for you, or you can just learn how to draw it yourself. The zigzag, I'd probably just draw my own support and resistance lines. Okay. Hopefully you found something useful in this video. I do appreciate you watching. If you can like and subscribe, that would be great and really help my channel. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.